Welcome to Showreel. I'm Jacob Paint.
And I'm the new host, Claire Abbots, replacing Mark, who unfortunately can't be with us anymore as he's fallen down a well.
That's not true. Anyway, later in the show we'll take a look at the newly released British film Alan Partridge, Alpha Papa.
But first, we'd like to introduce today's guest host, award-winning actor Adam Fawns.
Hey guys, thanks for having me on.
So Adam, are you allowed to tell us about the film you're currently working on?
Sure can. The film is called Killer Smile. It's the adaptation of a novella by the author Anita Bell. And this feature-length film we started a few months ago, and it's seen us in the Snowy Mountains, it's seen us up at the Sunshine Coast, and I also got to fall off a horse. So.
Wow, that's pretty cool. So how much longer is it, have you still got to shoot?
We've got one whole day, but of course there's pickups and ADR and everything to deal with. So it's been a long journey, but it's been really, really interesting. So.
And so is that you've come back from Canada just to shoot Killer Smile? Or?
Yeah, so I'm living over in Canada indefinitely to try over the acting scene over there, and come back to do this one. And of course, 48-hour film that we did together. So it was worth the trip.
Yes, and I still have to give you your prize for Best Actor Award that I accepted.
Absolutely.
Good luck getting that. Good luck getting
I
that.
know, right? I'm not sure that all of it's there, but you know, Jake, it's all about the award, really.
Yeah, that's right. I'm glad you think that way.
Exactly.
So how was it, did you find the 48-hour experience? Because I know you've done that a couple of times before.
Yeah, a couple of times before, especially with Jacob before, and it's the usual fare. You know, you get there on a Friday night, usually meeting new people, and you all learn a lot about each other because you've got to write a script together, get something done by Saturday morning, and then film this thing without any sleep. And it's as fun as much as it is frustrating, and it's amazing to see just something come out on Sunday.
Yeah, and sometimes that's better than others.
Yeah.
That's true. Sometimes you get people who make absolute gems come out on Sunday. You don't know how they got the location or the idea, but in the end, you know, it's good fun. But always afterwards, you want to go make another short film and think, I'm going to do this so efficiently, we're going to make something amazing. But then you don't. You do another 3-month job, and you know, you get more sleep though, so it's good.
And you did the 48-hour film. Did you do it in Canada as well? Yeah,
we did. It was a Toronto-specific competition, so it wasn't part of the 48-hour film global competition. But still, we did it again over there. It's the same kind of thing. Doesn't matter if you're in another country. It's still little sleep, crazy ideas, and when you get something in the end, you look at it and go, "What were we thinking?" You know, your parents are proud.
Yeah, I'm sure they are.
Hope so.
They haven't seen all of your films, clearly.
No, absolutely not. I hide them from the bad ones. That's all of them, I think.
So, like when we did ours, obviously you were in there right from the start. You actually helped us write, which I don't think many actors, unless they were like the writer writing it and directing it or acting or something like that in it. Not a lot of the actors come in and actually help with that. Do you find it more helpful to be there right from the start? Because
I love it, I guess. You know, from the start, you don't know what actors you'll need and what characters they're going to play. So it's good to have that input. But I think from our session, correct me if I'm wrong, I kind of offered all the bad ideas so you guys know what to steer away from. And I think I helped that way. Wow.
So some of your improvising obviously made it into the end of the film as well. So
it did, yeah. I like to play. But yeah, it was great fun. And you guys kind of just, we got a structure together. We knew it was a really strong idea, so we went with that. And then you give the actor a little bit to play with in the end, and it makes it fun.
So how is Canada, and what are the challenges you're facing over there?
Right, first thing, snow. So we have 2 foot of snow all Christmas, which it's beautiful when you wake up to it the first day, but then every other day after that it's just annoying, you know. But my girlfriend and I went over there to try the acting scene. And it's really exciting because you have major feature films going there for tax benefits or for location, whatever it is. But it's just amazing to have RoboCop shooting in Toronto. We have Godzilla shooting in Vancouver. We have mutual friends working on that at the moment. And it's just very inspiring to have this happening there. On our part, it's making sure you have the right visas, making sure you understand how the union works. It's a little bit of a different thing from Australia, but all challenges you want to surpass and have a go.
Okay, so we'll see if they let you back into the country.
Fingers crossed. Absolutely.
Why did you even get into acting in the first place? What really drew you to that?
I guess because I love being the class clown, you know, and all my friends are much funnier than me. They're great at it, and so I kind of took that as inspiration and wanted to do that. I actually studied in IT, so I'm a computer nerd by trade, and I thought it doesn't have as many girls and parties as what they told me it would. So, you know,
You're doing the wrong course. All I've heard is all girls and parties.
I did the wrong course. Thanks, Griffith. But apparently it's a new Griffith now, so maybe that's what they do.
Yep.
But yeah, it's something I've always wanted to try, and I thought I'd just do it part-time. But yeah, it's just getting things to do like our 48-hour film is great.
Like, you're really good at improvising though. When we're actually doing the 48-hour thing, you sort of, like, you're doing a lot of accents. Even when we were not filming, you just stay around just doing like a 40s gangster or something. And like, you actually got a really good gift for picking up those accents, or just an ear for that sort of thing. So, like you were mentioning in Canada, I think we were talking before, and there's like comedy clubs and things you can go to. Have you ever thought of trying out like improv comedy or improv acting like that?
Absolutely. With improv, when part of some of the games is getting up and being a different character every time. You know, some of it is, being yourself and just going with a scene, but coming up with new characters every time is one of the tenets, and it's just so much fun. It's interesting, recently on the feature film I tried to help out. I was AD and helped with crew a couple of the days, and I actually watched the other actors do the accent thing and playing around. I realised how frustrating it can be, so sorry to all the crew out there. It's fun for us to play, but I think it's one of the things that just keeps us have our energy and keep awake, and do that kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm wondering about, I mean, you're always, Adam will do impersonations of other local actors and whatnot. And, and I'm just wondering if he does impersonations of me when I'm not around as well.
No.
All right, so if anyone has any footage of that, if you can...
It's actually part of the segment later. We'll cut that together if we can.
Right, okay.
See what we can do.
Look forward to it.
Yeah. That's it.
So how many films have you and Jacob actually worked on together? Because I've seen Lime, which is one of your 48-hour films. Have you guys known each other from when time you started acting, or how did that?
Pretty much, I'd been doing it for a little bit. I think he'd been doing it a little bit longer, and so we kind of converged on this film. And thought,
oh, really? He's done it longer than you?
Well, actually, my first film that I acted in was Adam was the lead actor. That was, and we had Ray Sinclair that was on the other week.
Oh, yes.
So that was Enclosed in 2006. That was when I met Adam.
Nice.
Good old Ray. Hi, Ray.
It's been love ever since. Aww.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where I jumped on the short film with Jacob, and I saw this amazing talent here, amazing ideas that we both had as we were sharing while we were shooting it. And I thought one of the things in Brisbane is to make your own projects, write your own stuff and make it happen. A lot of my friends I know working with agents kind of sit there and wait for the calls to come in. That is part of it, and it does pay the rent, but also got to make your own work. Yeah,
you really need to be proactive sort of in film, because it's not going to come to you, is it?
No, not all the time, unless you're a lot better looking than me. So, then it comes to you. But, working for your own stuff means you can write your own characters and make it perfect. Yeah. Yeah, no, we've had some fun. We've got our YouTube channel as well, where you can catch some more of our ridiculous hijinks. Absolutely. One of the things Jacob and I do, we try to write something for ourselves, and every now and then we get a little bit lazy, and it takes a little time. So we just get up, take the camera somewhere, and try and improv something, which is a lot of fun. So you'll see the results of that on the YouTube channel.
Well, that's all we have time for this segment, but up after the break, we'll be airing our 48-hour film, Day in the Death. See you soon.
Welcome back to Showreel. On the 13th to the 15th of September, a team from Showreel got together to write, shoot and edit a short film in just 48 hours, all for the 48-hour film project.
We spent many hours before the day preparing for the monumental task, most of which was spent choosing our team name, Area 31 Productions. After a lot of hard work and little sleep, we submitted the film on time, and we were nominated for 5 awards, one of which we won. Adam Fawns won Best Actor in a Supporting Role. But it wasn't just Adam Fawns' immense talent that made the film great. As well as Claire and I, we also have to thank the rest of the cast and crew. Elliot Bush, Matt Clayton, Vinod Eder, Jan Halsvik, Richard McDonald-Miller, Harley Menterplay, Robert Nobilia, Roderick Owen, Lauren Peacock, James Potts, Dan Randall, and the few extras who came down to help out.
So thanks for joining us, Adam. It's been really great having you on. And thank you for helping us out with the 48-hour project as well. We wouldn't have been able to do it without your great ideas and expert acting.
You're awesome.
Yeah, you're awesome. We love you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, guys, you're saying everything I wrote down. Cheers.
We present to you now our film, A Day in the Death. We'll be back after the break with a review of Alan Partridge, Alpha Papa. See you then.
My name's Simon Den, and I'm just a normal guy. Today is my first day at my new job.
After several attempts on the life of controversial television host John Big, he is reportedly increasing security.
Unfortunately, there's not a lot of work at the moment, so I take what I can get. This is the watch I was wearing when I died. I wear it to remind myself of who I am. There's nothing wrong with being a zombie, but not everyone agrees with that.
Zombies. They're trying to take over the world. They're trying to push their agenda down our throats. And I, for one, am not going to take it. I don't think the general population should either. I'm John Big, and this is The Big Factor.
It's getting better, but there's still a lot of prejudice towards zombies. People still believe in the old stereotypes of zombies will try to turn you into a zombie or whatever. I'm still going for the zombie stereotype of the bodyguard though. I mean we're the best ones for the job. I'm already dead, so I can't die.
Living impaired people are people. They don't deserve to be discriminated against just because...
No, they're not people, they're zombies, and what they deserve is to be shot.
How can you be so violently against the undead, John?
Because zombies are an abomination in the eyes of God.
They are not. Actually, Jesus was a zombie.
No, he wasn't. That's blasphemy.
It's not blasphemous. Just go read your Bible, John. Right, it's in there.
I've read the Bible. Okay? Thank you, Peter. I've read the Bible, and that's textbook blasphemy.
Well, look, if you think that we are actually going to sit here...
Goodbye. What an idiot.
I mean, I'm not proud of it, but I have to hide the fact that I'm a zombie. I mean, I'm working for the most anti-zombie man in television. I got it through a friend, Zach Mendoza. It's not an ideal job, I know, but I was put through on the table somehow.
So how's your first day?
Yeah, okay. I mean, it's a nice place you got here. I mean, it's Hey, about John.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he's a little?
Yeah, we don't talk about that.
Why not?
Well, what do you think?
Yeah, but I mean, it's obvious.
No, you don't want to lose your job on the first day, mate.
Yeah, but I mean, I just don't understand why someone would be against zombies if they are a zombie.
I tell you who is a zombie.
Jason.
Big time.
Oh yeah.
All right, we're going in 5, 4, 3.
Why do good people choose to become zombies? I'm John Big, and this is The Big Factor.
All right, everyone, cut.
It's going pretty well, I think. Nothing major's happened so far.
You bastards! My son undied again because of people like you!
Watch out, I think he's got a gun in his pocket.
That's not the only thing I got in my pocket. I've got a gun! What? You're not dead!
You're a zombie!
What? No, I'm not, Simon.
Yes, you are. You just shot through the chest.
No!
It's okay. I'm a zombie too.
Me too.
I'm a zombie too.
Yeah, me too.
What?
Mum and Dad are gonna be so pissed.
John Big, known for his strong anti-zombie views, has himself come out as a zombie.
And welcome back to The Big Factor. Once again, we've got our friend Pete in over the satellite link to say hello and have a chat.
Hi, John. How are you? Thanks for having me back.
No, it's absolutely my pleasure. And as you know, last week I came out as a zombie.
I feel privileged to be working for someone such as John Big, who now works tirelessly for zombie rights.
And tell me, how did this come about, John? Because last time we spoke, you had quite a different slant on things, mate. So, like, what's happening for you now?
Well, you know, before I was just asking the hard questions because I think that had to happen. I was an agent to play the devil's advocate for it. But as you know now, we're joining together as a brotherhood against the people that really are a scourge in society. You know who they are?
Who's that?
His story teaches people that it doesn't matter if you're a zombie or not a zombie. We're all people.
Leprechauns.
Is that right?
Yes.
Why so?
Because they're small. They only come out when rainbows are out, so they're transient and lazy.
My name's Simon Den, and I'm proud to be a zombie.
Welcome back to Showreel. This week, Claire and I are reviewing Alan Partridge, Alpha Papa.
Alan Partridge, Alpha Papa is a new British comedy film featuring Steve Coogan's long-running radio DJ character, Alan Partridge, in a hostage situation in his radio station. Let's take a look at the trailer.
That was soft rock cocaine enthusiast Fleetwood Mac. And this was Alan Partridge. Love that noise. I was having a fascinating conversation with Norfolk's most suntanned child, just passed his details on to the social services. Alan, we're being taken over. So, Pat, no one's getting sacked. Just sack Pat.
Just gave me 30 minutes to clear out my locker.
Hello? Pat?
There's only one person, Pat, he's willing to talk to. You.
Cool.
Will you help us?
Guys, none of us choose the hand we're dealt.
We do need an answer, I'm afraid.
Why do you have another siege to go to?
Alan's coming in now.
Welcome to big school.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you...
Alan Partridge.
My partner in crime.
Oh, guest.
You are the face of this siege.
I am Siege Face.
He's broadcasting from the siege.
Keep it light.
Okay, tonight we'll be asking, have you ever met a genuinely clever bus driver? Oh,
As the hostage crisis escalates, Alan Partridge has become the chief negotiator.
You've got to be more concise. What do you want? You know, I want a helicopter. That's just an example, by the way. Okay, he wants a helicopter.
One man, one goal.
Clever! He's got the shooter!
Take the police.
Friends. Friends, Pat. Friends.
It's weird.
What has happened to your hair? I take no pleasure in saying this, but a lot of people think it looks like a photograph of an explosion.
Identify yourself!
Alan.
Alan?
There's footage. Alan! I'm Alan Partridge. I've not been off the TV that long. Identify yourself. I should be at home in bed watching funny videos on YouTube.
Have you seen Fat Woman Falls Down Hole?
That should be fenced off, really, but I'm glad it wasn't.
Alan Partridge is a UK comedy series starring Steve Coogan. It centres around an ex-TV presenter come radio DJ with delusions of grandeur. He is rude and obnoxious, but beneath the surface he still has a heart of some description that occasionally shines through, if perhaps only briefly. The station he works for is bought out by a larger company who begin turning the station into a younger, more profitable commodity. Alan and the other older DJs suddenly find themselves fighting for their jobs. One of them doesn't deal with the situation all that well, and it is left to Alan to deal with the crisis, as only Alan would. In this, he manages to tread a line between social incompetence and shameless self-promotion. Adapting TV comedies to the big screen is obviously a tricky business. You have to maintain the elements that people love on the small screen, yet still deliver that something extra to make it worthy of the larger format. In this respect, I think Alpha Papa is a model of how to do it right. When I heard about this movie, I was sceptical because the show seemed to be ostensibly a small screen idea. Alan himself is ostensibly a small screen character, and Steve Coogan hasn't tried to turn him into something else. As a fan of the TV series, I would say that a lot of what hasn't been done here is why it works so well. They haven't sent him on a goofy holiday to America, they haven't gotten him mixed up in an international spy ring, and there are no aliens in sight. Although it wouldn't be that absurd to think that Partridge himself was one. The movie keeps to the heart of the TV show, and the believable performances along with the humour keep things grounded. The script is tight and filled with comedy that is performed, shot, cut, and with great timing. It has been cleverly written with a lot of early setups and foreshadowing that really pay off. This is one of the main things that makes it work and gives the movie a lot more depth than a half-hour TV show can, as well as giving the story that extra something to make it work on the big screen. I think for most people, Alan Partridge should be at worst enjoyable, and at best, well, much more enjoyable. 4 stars. What do you think, Claire?
Alan Partridge, Alpha Papa, is definitely a lovable loser type of movie. I hadn't heard of Alan Partridge before seeing this film, but the character of this bumbling Norwich DJ, played superbly by Steve Coogan, was apparently created over 20 years ago and has been at home on radio and TV until now. This is Partridge's first appearance on the big screen, and whilst the concept of the film is pretty basic, it does feel like a different spin on the standard British TV to film adaptation. Many British TV programs that have been adapted for the big screen, like The In-Betweeners or Mr. Bean, use the standard trope of sending their main character abroad to get them out of their comfort zone. But Alpha Papa instead puts Partridge right where he is most at home and shakes things up. How better to get the most out of this lovable, Basil Fawlty-esque anti-hero of Norwich radio than put him right in his element and let the comedy ensue? Because, obviously, this insecure and incompetent DJ is perfectly capable of negotiating a hostage situation. Something I also found interesting after I went home and did a bit of research is that, unlike The In-Betweeners or most other British TV programs that have been adapted for film, Alan Partridge is more akin to Australia's Dame Edna, a persona played out in front of the camera as if it were a real person, a real presenter with an entire life history. Partridge's TV shows have primarily been talk shows or pseudo-factual, so it's really interesting to see how the screenwriters have adapted this into a film with a narrative. And given that Coogan has embodied such a rich persona for so long, he is able to bring to the screen a character that is so fully realised. After so many years of practice, Coogan is able to make Partridge put not one, but both his feet in his mouth at the same time. Whilst I didn't find myself laughing hysterically at this film, it definitely has a consistent mix of quirky, satirical and cringe-worthy humour throughout. From comparing the stress of the hostage situation with marriage, to drawing similarities between his friend's poignant tale of scattering his wife's ashes at sea with that of Osama bin Laden, this film definitely holds nothing back. I also enjoyed the fact that the film remains staunchly British in story, setting and characters, and refuses to change to suit the tastes of American audiences. But then, I am a little biased. I love all things British, the comedy, the accents, my boyfriend. But you needn't be an Anglophile to enjoy this movie. It's a light-hearted comedy with something for nearly everyone. I give it 3.5 out of 5. So, yeah.
Have you seen the TV show yet?
No, I started looking it up because I thought it would be something like with a narrative in it. But then it seems to be like there was one where he had like a talk show and interviewed people, but it was all kind of fake because he ends up shooting a guest or something during it. And then another one he did was like his own life history. So that's when I kind of realised he's just meant to be like a fake real person. So it's have you actually seen all of the series?
I haven't actually seen it all. I need to go back and watch the rest of it. But they don't have the time in a half-hour episode to really fill it out with as much depth as the film does. And as I said, I think they've used the film format to really add to the story rather than other things that just try and put stuff in there for bang for buck, for the big screen.
But with because he did interview shows and it's like his history and stuff, do any of his series actually have some kind of narrative running through them, or is it? I mean, it just feels like a really hard thing to adapt something that's is meant to be like a real life person, and now we're going to make him into a story. Or do people, when you watch the show, do you expect that he's not?
No, I mean it's just absurd, and he's an idiot, and And it's just all of the stupid things that he comes out with, and it's the quick exchanges, like in the movie, that I think make the TV show. And you know, he's very quotable, some of the things. And as we've annoyed Dan in the studio with one segment from the film.
I think there was some really cool, like really subtle little bits of comedy that, like, probably if they'd made it, you know, more for an American audience, they would have lost that subtlety. But it was, I don't know, there's like the bit where it just he's walking back into the party and, like, you know, rolls up his sleeves just like he's getting really cool, and he's like, no, better not. Quickly puts them back down.
Well, that's all we have time for today. Thank you for joining us, Adam.
Make sure to check out the Showreel podcast and our Facebook, Twitter and YouTube pages. We'll leave you now with a sneak peek of Adam Fawns in our theatre-themed show next week. See you then.
Go.